Just 5 weeks after his inauguration, he was elected as the new chairman of the West African Regional Bloc, ECOWAS. And by the end of the same month, his first baptism at diplomacy as president came to the test. A coup in neighboring Niger Republic with threats of invasion by the bloc.
I think there was a little bit of rush decision on that scale. And what you got was a response to that division. Because what's the difference between Nigeria and Niger? Empathy is very key in diplomacy. Not sympathy, but empathy. Putting yourself in their shoes and responding to them in a way that is appropriate, not just jumping at a decision without great circumspection.
The decision to intervene in Niger was ECOWAS' collective decision. It wasn't because the president wasn't able to resolve the issue. It was because ECOWAS was unable to resolve the issue. I think we need to separate these issues.
And to this very moment, the junta sits tight, despite at least 3 ECOWAS summits chaired by Tinubu.
His Excellency.
The Nigerian leader had in September mounted the rostrum at what can be tagged the biggest stage for any nation's leader, the UN General Assembly.
What you have to take away from his shuttle diplomacy within this short period is the fact that he's also trying to build on Nigeria's image, what I will call public diplomacy or commercial diplomacy. Because at every interval and every opportunity, the president is marketing Nigeria.
Other nations on the continent will get disappointed when we do not step forward to take that leadership.
However, earlier in the same month, a controversy had brewed following the president's state visit to the United Arab Emirates. His office had announced the lift of a visa ban on Nigerians, which had been put in place since October of 2022 by that Middle Eastern country, following bilateral talks with the Emir of the UAE. It turned out this was incorrect. Prior to this, Tinubu had in August named Yusuf Tuga as Foreign Affairs Minister. He also announced the 4 Ds. However, it was the recall of Nigeria's high commissioners and ambassadors from all the missions across the world last September and their non-replacement up until this moment that gave some concern for those who are looking at Nigeria's foreign policy thrust and its implementation.
I was privileged to be the chairman of the presidential committee that reviewed the Nigeria's running of diplomatic missions worldwide before this administration came in. And we made 116 resolutions. That document is lying idle somewhere. Nobody's looking at it.
Have you heard that we have any problem because we don't have ambassadors? No. Have there been any problem in any mission because they don't have ambassadors or high commissioners? No. I think sometimes we have to move away from castigating the government, you know.
The Tinubu administration had inherited a 98 billion naira appropriation for the Foreign Service.
Usually release is always a problem. It's one thing to budget. We have to ensure that it's cash backed, that missions get their money on time to meet their basic needs and be able to execute this agenda item. I believe we are committed to doing that.
The Foreign Service is grossly, if not grotesquely, underfunded.
And in his own first budget as president, it was upped to 156 billion naira.
A situation where you have 1.1% of the budget only on foreign service. And yet there are only 2 sides to a government. There's the domestic side and there is the external side.
Somebody was telling me a story yesterday that where our mission is in Paris, every year after the snow, everybody on that street kind of repaints and refurbishes it. They say only our mission is unable to do that for so many years.
In early December, President Tinubu was at the COP28 in Dubai.
We are committed to energy mix. We are providing cooking gas for a large population.
It was, however, the size of his entourage which caused outcry at home in Nigeria. The presidency replied that only 422 individuals were officially on the president's delegation. Now, according to GovTech, Tinubu's trips, as at the end of December, has cost 3.4 billion naira. In response to the criticism about his foreign trips, he said that his overseas travels have been to bring in investors and show Nigeria is open for business.
In the 1 year that this government has been in place, our foreign policy has demonstrated the kind of resilience that Nigeria is known for.
How his 4Ds will impact Nigeria will be seen in years ahead. Sola Jaiyesimi, AIT News, Abuja.